All right, let's talk a little bit about variable scope. Now, this is not a very exciting topic, but it's important um, when you're looking at a program to know what the scope of a variable is. Now, what that means is whenever you declare a variable within a method, whether that's the main method or here in the add one method, um, that variable only exists within that that method. It only exists within that block of code. Um, Same thing with a loop. Whenever we declared that variable in that for loop header, you can use the variable a as many times as you want in all of your different loops because it only exists within that block. And the same is true for these methods. I can use the same variable name multiple times. If you're still not following, let's do this example right here. So I declare this variable called number, and I set the value to 7.2. So within that method, whenever I print out number, well, it's going to print 7.2. But I've also got this method down here, and it also declares a variable called number, and it adds 1 to that number and returns it. Well, when I call this add 1 4.3, and then it looks for the value of number, it doesn't say, oh, well, we said that number already exists, and it's 7.2. It doesn't do that because the scope of this variable is only within this block of text. Okay, those little braces kind of say everything that's here stays in here. Okay, we'll talk about some stuff that's a little different than that, but so whenever we say number, that number value is going to be 4.3 because that's what we're feeding in to initialize the variable. And when I print out number again, it hasn't taken the value of this number and added 1. So it's still 7.2. Let's run it. So these were not affected by the method at all. This was not affected by 7.2 at all. It just took 4.3 and added 1. So it's important to understand what the scope of your variable is, that this one up here doesn't affect this one. It doesn't need to have the same name, but if it does, it's not going to interfere. You can reuse the same name multiple times if it makes your code easier to read. So again, not exciting stuff, but important to understand.